Hey gang, welcome back to Joe Daddy's Workshop. I know it's late in the year and I have not put out very many videos this year, but I found something at Lowe's this past week that I thought I should make a video on. This is a Kobalt 40 volt max brushless 8-inch edger. Why am I doing this? Well, I've been wanting one of these for a while, and I already have a 40 volt max weed eater. I've been very happy with that thing. And I've been looking at the edgers, and I waited and waited and waited, and finally, basically, they put this on closeout. So I picked up this edger for $95. And I'm going to open this up and show you how it looks, and then we're going to do some test runs on it. Like I said, edger, Kobalt 40 volt max brushless 8-inch with a steel blade. So let's open it up and see what's in the box. Looks pretty simple. This is one unit. I'll have to pull this out and show it to you, but it's got a handle. So let me pull all this stuff out and we'll take a look at it. The handle, you don't have to slide it up over anything because you really couldn't. It's got a wired connection between those two tubes. So you take this loose and then you can take that out. Slip that around, slip that back in, thread that back on, and adjust it to where you like it. There's also a little tool bag. Looks like this has a Phillips head. This looks like just a straight post. And there's an Allen wrench. And of course that has designed to go over a nut somewhere. And I don't know what that does yet. So it gives you a parts breakdown of the manual. Tells you about the tools that are in there. It says bolt. Okay, that's for that. That's the bracket. Wrench, metal rod, hex wrench. Pretty much what I just said. Safety, safety, safety. Okay. So you're going to position these two ends together, tighten it up with an Allen wrench, or hex wrench as they call it. Adjust your handle to where you need it. And then, of course, this does not come with a battery. I will say that. This is a $95 unit without a battery. The batteries are pretty expensive. So the advantage I have is I've already got the weed eater that has this battery with it, so I don't have to buy one. But just keep that in mind. If you're going to get one of these, it does not come with a battery or a charger. Now this has a push button connection right here. If I get that up high enough, it's got a little push tab right there. That's your alignment. So you should be able to snake these two together and lock that in, and then tighten up that bolt with the hex wrench, or Allen wrench as I like to call it. Really didn't take much. Pretty simple. Now of course the placement of the handle is going to be up to you. I'm just going to put it on here and probably adjust it later because I don't know exactly where I'm going to need it. I guess you could put it either direction, whatever feels convenient for you, so it gives you a little bit of an offset. You know, if you have longer arms, you may want to put it out here. Now something I wanted to look at on this end, it's got a wing nut on this wheel. That's a solid wheel. There's no, I say it's solid, let's look at the back side. Okay, so it's got hollow areas inside the wheel, but there's no like separate pieces, it's all one piece. There is a rubber flap back here to catch debris, and of course the blade, which will spin. Now, I pointed out, I said earlier that the motor was at that end. It's not, because I thought this was a shaft drive, but it's not. It's got a motor at this end and just wiring going from the battery down to here, of course the switch mechanism. Now this also has an adjustment. You can take this wing nut loose and adjust this wheel up and down slightly. So you can kind of adjust that as you need for how the depth you want to cut with. Other than that, I don't think there's really much else you can do. And I'll bet you, now that I look at this, that metal rod that came with it, that's to lock this in place. So if you want to change the blade, you can take it loose. That's pretty handy. Yep, that's what that's for. Two different sizes on this wrench. Now of course I'd probably use a regular wrench rather than this tool, but I'm sure it would work fine. I'll also point out the trigger has a safety built in, so you need to flip this in order to squeeze the trigger. Now again, I have a battery from my weed eater. This is a 2.5 amp hour battery. They sell a 5.0 amp hour battery. It's like $150 for the big one, but this should slide right in. Now, what I like about these batteries too is they have this little meter. You can click on that and see how much charge you have. So full green, full charge. The battery only fits in one way. It has these grooves on the front and the back. Basically you line it up. You can't put it in the wrong way. So there's that. Now, I know I'm in my garage. Let me flip this trigger. I like that. Not super loud like a regular weed or edger. Okay, what I want to do is take it outside, do some edging with it, and we'll see how that goes. As I said, it is late in the season, but I wanted to show you what I'm working on. This driveway has had a lot of grass growing up over the edge for quite some time. Now right up here it's not too bad, but when you get down here, there's a lot of grass on top of the driveway. There's probably 8-9 inches of grass growing over that edge. And I have a very long driveway, and I've always wanted to try using this electric edger, and we're going to have a look at it and see what it can do. I would say the only problem I'm having is the fact that what I've neglected to do for years has allowed these grass roots to get down low into or beside the concrete. But this thing is cutting really nice. look, I have a bigger driveway now. Remarkable. Okay, I think it did a pretty good job, but I will say that little 2.5 amp hour battery, or let's say the smaller version of the battery, didn't go as far as I had hoped. But I have a very long driveway, and I walked it off, and I come up with about almost 400 feet that this edger cut. Now keep in mind, this driveway has not been hit with an edger in forever. You know, all this overgrowth has just accumulated, and it might have been a little bit tough to cut through that. And I would venture to say that not everybody has a driveway this long, in most cases. So I cut back on this side, and it did really well. Again, overgrowth, thick stuff, and I could have maybe changed the depth a little bit, but I wanted to try to go as deep as I could. There's still a few little remnants here that are, you know, got around the cutter, but for the most part, it did what I needed it to do. Basically, when I got up here, this is where it quit. That's where it stopped. So the battery is dead. Again, overall, probably close to 400 feet that I covered, which I'm okay with that. You know, I can recharge the battery and finish up another day, but at least I now know it does the job that it's supposed to do. That'll be the end of this video. I hope you found some useful information that might help you make a decision as to whether you want one of these Kobalt edgers. Like I said, it was on sale, and I wanted one for a while, so I went ahead and bought it. And especially since I already had the 40 volt battery, I didn't have to buy a separate battery or charger. So keep that in mind if you're looking at these. And other than that, I think that's going to be it. So I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. I look forward to sharing more videos sometime in the future, depending on what I find and what I'm able to mess with. But I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.